Alright, guys, let's talk about nursing burnout. Do I experience nursing burnout? And what is nursing burnout? And things like that. I am not talking about the thing I do when I pull out of the facility parking lot and dump the clutch on this old cruise here and leaving a big cloud of smoke, which has happened. Your boy can do a burnout, but not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is when you have just the feeling of, I'm done with this. I am just done with nursing. I want to walk away from this. I hate this job. I hate this career. I hate everything about everything in the world right now. I'm just done. And yes, I have felt that way a lot, quite often, to be completely honest with you. I really didn't feel that way in this particular job until about the time the pandemic really kicked in, probably about May or June. Not even really in March when the COVID really started. March of 2020, I should say. When the pandemic started, it wasn't really then. It was really more like May or June. So since May of 2020 till today, January of 2021, pretty much just been feeling the burnout. Just kind of feeling like I'm just done with all this. Why do I feel this way? Well, since then, since about May, and me and a lot of other nurses have been working short-staffed, as we are now beginning to be more spread apart due to the fact that there are nurses doing things like COVID testing or COVID vaccination or, various treatments on COVID units that these jobs just didn't exist before. And now they do exist, and a lot of our population, I say our population, the nursing population, has now sort of been spread out. You had this big group that was here before, and now all of a sudden we're spreading out. And so that's shortening the staff. And yes, I feel burnout quite often. I've been doing more days than normal since the beginning of December. And that's just simply because we just don't have the help. And yes, every day I come home, I just feel like, this is it. I'm done with this. But then another sort of aspect as to why I feel the burnout that I do is I understand that my colleagues feel the same sort of burnout, and yet they're still there every day. And so it feels like if I don't show up, I let them down as well. It feels like I can't really not show up because, then I'm shortening the already short staff. And so you feel sort of guilty for kind of wanting a day off, if that makes sense. You just feel like, I just want to go home, I just want to lay in the bed all day today. And you just feel like you can't because you're going to be hurting the people that help you day in and day out. And, it's like a guilty feeling just for kind of wanting to stay home one day. It's, sort of weird. And I never felt that before until the pandemic kicked in. But yes, that is definitely a feeling. And then you just feel like you're just done. You just feel like that's it. I'm tired of this job. I've never felt burnout due to the actual job of nursing. I came into it, I worked as a CNA for about 6 years, and so I came into it sort of kind of knowing what to expect, as to, the emotions that I may feel. I didn't fully understand, but I did have a fairly good understanding as to what I may experience coming into it as a nurse, and I really haven't been burnout due to the job, but due to just staff shortages, supply shortages, believe it or not. Since the pandemic has started, we're having a really hard time getting supplies. There was a little bit of time over the summer, June, July, August, where supplies were not as hard to find. I'll say not as easy to find as they were in 2019 for sure. But from June to probably end of August, beginning of September of 2020, we were able to get supplies. And then now it's like you have to conserve supplies, if that makes sense. You can't really conserve, but kind of got to not waste, I guess. And that's, sort of been weighing on my mind too. Like, oh, is this the last set of gloves I'm going to have? Is this the last mask I'm going to be able to get? Now, mask, I'll say we haven't had an issue getting, but, these sort of stressors are also, burning me out as well. And it's getting, harder to just keep at it every day and every day and every day. But, it is what it is. This is the career that I chose, and I'm going to keep at it. But yes, I feel these feelings of just burnout and just, I'm done with this. I'm done getting up, after sleeping 2 hours, or, because nurses, unless you get that job that is that 9-to-5 doctor's office job, we don't sleep very much. Even if you are daytime, typically your hours are not normal hours, unless you are at a doctor's office, which is 9 to 5 with a catered 1 hour lunch at noon every day. You lucky devils. The rest of us out here, we're showing up at, 11p to 7A, or 7p to 7A, or 7A to 7p, or, whatever it may be. And you're showing up at these hours and you're just not sleeping very much. And so the lack of sleep definitely weighs in, on the feelings of the burnout. I feel like I would, if I would get a really good night's sleep, I feel like I might not feel good when I wake up. I might feel groggy and tired that I slept too much. Yes, definitely feeling just burnout from lack of sleep, lack of supplies, lack of staff, feeling like I got to stay with my staff because I'm going to let my staff down if I don't show up, and you just feel it's kind of blah at the end of it. There is definitely burnout going on right now, probably more so than ever. Definitely on my end. Definitely more so on my end. The only time that I've really felt burnout from the job was when I was in dialysis. I was not made for dialysis. I did not like dialysis. It just was not for me. I actually took the job to go to first shift and, have regular hours. And then they came to me and said, you're going to work third. I was like, you know what? I'm already burnt out from this. I'm done with this. And I left. And because, I was done with that job. I was done with, I couldn't do that job anymore. And then that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. When you hear people say, this is sort of a side thought, when you hear people say, I used to be a nurse, or things like that, ask them, why did you used to be a nurse? And, sometimes they'll say, oh, I was just getting burnt out from that job. Oh, I just couldn't handle, I actually worked with a nurse manager one time that became a office nurse. She had a desk. She had an office. She did not do any patient care anymore. I said, why did you take this job? And she's like, I couldn't handle watching one more patient die. And she was burnt out from watching patients die. As bad as that sounds, that's what she was burnt out from, was watching patients die. It happens. We see a lot of bad things, and you get burnt out from seeing bad things. Especially you trauma guys and girls. You trauma hospital people. You probably see a lot more than most of us. And even the very basic nurse still sees a lot of stuff. So you get burnt out from just seeing stuff. That hasn't happened to me, thankfully. But yeah, you get burnt out from just seeing things. It's real, and it gets you. But definitely got me for the last 7 months now. It is what it is. I'm going to keep at it. I'm like I tell my director, I'm not quitting. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not happy right now. But, it is what it is. If you like this video, check this one out over here. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe over there. I hope it helps. If you're feeling burnout as well, let me know down below. Thank you much. Hope it helps.